Hey everyone, I'm Nick, and welcome to another episode of Parallel C++. So in this episode of the series, we're going to be continuing our discussion on OpenMP by talking about some methods of synchronization. So inside of our parallel programs, we of course want ways to synchronize work between our different threads. And this can come in a number of different forms. So this can come in the form of barriers and locks and things like atomics. So what we're going to be looking at today are a couple different ways that we can synchronize our programs in OpenMP. Specifically, we're going to be talking about marking critical sections and marking updates to certain data members as being atomic. Okay, so on the left-hand side of the screen here, let's go ahead and open up our first example here, which will be this critical.cpp. And our code and setup is going to be pretty simple here. So we're going to have 2 to the 20 iterations of some loop that we're going to split across 8 threads here. So each thread is going to get iterations per thread, number of iterations. So we're just doing even division of our work here. And our work is going to be pretty simple. We just want to increment some shared integer here called sync. Now, the way that we're going to do that is by making a parallel section of our code like we saw last time. So we have this compiler director of this pragma OMP parallel here to specify that we want the following block of code here to be executed across different threads. And we can even specify the number of threads we want. So here we're saying we want 8 total threads. Okay, so what exactly are we executing in parallel? Well, each thread is going to go through iterations per thread, iterations of this for loop here, and they're going to try and do an increment of this shared variable. Now, to protect that increment and make sure that we don't have different threads doing writes that stomp on each other, we're going to use this pragma OMP critical to mark this as a critical section here. Now, in this case, we just have a single statement that's going to be a critical section, but just like we specified this entire block inside of this parallel section here, right, for OpenMP, we could specify a larger critical section as well, right, using these same kind of blocks. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the right-hand side of the screen here, and I have the Lawrence Livermore National Lab, the LLNL tutorial on OpenMP up. And here it has some information on critical, and it says that the critical directive specifies that a region of code must be executed by only one thread at a time here, right? And it even gives us a simple example using the same kind of increment. Okay, so that's going to be our critical example of how we can specify a critical section. So let's go ahead and take a look at another example here where we specify an atomic update. So here we have this atomic.cpp. So we have the same kind of setup, so 2 to the 20 iterations spread across 8 threads. We have the same parallel section that we're going to parallelize using OpenMP with 8 threads, except this time we've used this pragma OMP atomic here. So we go ahead and take a look at the same kind of documentation for this atomic. It says that this atomic directive specifies that a memory location must be updated atomically rather than letting multiple threads attempt to write to it. So basically it gives us this mini critical section here, right, by saying that we want this to actually be an atomic increment, not just an increment of a normal integer. Okay, so that's going to be our code for 2 examples here. And, after we do all these increments, we're going to check to make sure that we got the right result here. So, we're just doing 2 to the 20 increments. So, our final value in sync should be the same as num iterations up here that we're doing across our 8 threads. Okay, so let's go ahead and quit out of here and let's compile our 2 examples. So we can first compile critical.cpp, and we'll compile this with -f OpenMP and also O3 optimizations. And then likewise, we can do something similar for atomic here with the exact same flags, OpenMP and O3 optimizations. And what we see is that when we run either of these examples, and we can run them multiple times to just try to tease out if we actually made a mistake, we see that we pass that assert, right? Meaning that our program completed successfully. Likewise, we can do the same with atomic here, right? And we see that we get the correct result there, right? Our assert doesn't fail. All right. So another thing that we can look at is kind of how this was actually implemented at a low level for both the critical section and this atomic here. So to do that, let's just dump the assembly, right, for both of these. So we can start by looking at the assembly for our critical section. So we'll dump and demangle the names here from our executable, 0 critical. And what we see at the very bottom is basically our function that is getting run in parallel. And, kind of the core inner loop that we're looking at here is just going to be these 5 instructions. And you can see it's very similar to what would have happened if we manually implemented this with something like threads and using things like a mutex. You can see that in each iteration of the loop, right, we have this call to critical start, just like we would have a call to say, mutex lock. Then we have our increment here of our integer, so this add instruction. And then we have, this critical end, right, marking the end of our critical section. Very similar to how we'd have something like mutex unlock. And then, of course, this is just going to be our loop counter, right? So we're subtracting 1 each iteration. So that's what our critical section version of this code looks like underneath the hood. It's very similar to just doing a lock and unlock around a critical section. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look now at the low-level assembly of our atomic version. So we can do the same kind of, obj dump -dc on one atomic. And we see we get, what we kind of expected here for marking this as being an atomic update. So inside of this very tight 4 instruction loop here, we just, do this move into RDX. Then we have a lock add L instruction here. So this is just going to be our atomic increment. So we're just loading an address into RDX, followed by doing an atomic increment. Then what we do after that is just our loop counter, right? So subtracting 1 again, just like our last piece of code. But kind of the core part here is that we now have this atomic instruction, right? Lock, so we're locking our cache line so it can't be stolen away. And then just adding 1 here, right? And this is being run by each of our threads. So we get kind of what we expected here, right? It's very similar to if we just use something like a stood atomic int and we're doing an increment of it. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and do it for this time. It's, a brief introduction on some of these synchronization mechanisms that we have. Of course, there are many more in OpenMP. So there's things like barriers, and there's ways to specify that, only one thread should run, a part of our code, things we might look at in later video. But I'll make sure to link both of these sections from this LLNL tutorial below the video. And as always, you can find this or any of my other examples at github.com/coffeebeforearch. But that's going to go ahead and do it for today. As always, I'm Nick, and I hope you have a nice day.